Hi, I'm Don Rich. Welcome to this episode of Rich Insights. The topic today is to establish a report card on the Federal Reserve Chairman, Chairman Powell. All right, so why are we doing this today? Well, Chairman Powell started in February of 2018. All right, and the Fed chairmanship appointment lasts for 4 years. So we're almost exactly halfway through. So it seems like a good time to do that. The second reason is current events. The President Trump, has indicated on several occasions that, how do we put this politely, that he believes Chairman Powell's career opportunities should be freed up. All right. So with that, I thought it'd be a good time to address the track record of the Fed chairman. Again, the Fed chairmanship is a 4 year appointment, right? It's appointed by the president. So President Trump actually did appoint Chairman Powell. It's a 4 year appointment. It has to be appointed or nominated by the president and then confirmed by the Senate. All right, and there's no term limits. So every 4 years, the president renominates them, and as long as they're reconfirmed by the Senate, there's no term limits. Now, those 4 year windows are similar, right, to the U.S. president, except they're offset. All right, that's why Chairman Powell started in 2018, and President Trump was elected in 2016. So they're offset. Now, the Federal Reserve President is often considered to be the second most powerful person in the world. Second most powerful. Wow, that's quite a statement, right? And the reason for that is that the Federal Reserve President establishes short-term interest rates in the U.S. And those interest rates are critically important to virtually every aspect of our private life, right? Whether it's the interest rate charged on credit cards, for instance, is tied to the Treasury rate. The interest rates on mortgages is tied to the credit rate. So virtually everything within the U.S. is actually tied to Treasury rates, right? Even outside the U.S. Outside the U.S., many countries benchmark themselves to U.S. Treasury rates. So that's why it's so important. Now, the way this works is it's very simple. The Fed chairman will increase interest rates when he or she is trying to slow down the economy and cut interest rates if they're trying to stimulate the economy. It really is that simple. All right, so let's go to the charts and take a look at the track record. What we have here is the Federal Reserve. It's called the Fed funds rate, the rate that's actually established by the Federal Reserve chairman and the committee. And it's a little hard to see the dates down here, the dates on this chart, but the way this works is this whole area on this side of the chart is 2018, all right, and then the right-hand side is 2019. All right. So what we see in 2018 is a series of interest rate hikes. All right. There were 4 interest rate hikes in 2018. We started the year down here at 1.5% interest, and we finished at 2.5%. Right. So 4 hikes at 25 basis points each. So we increased rates 1%, and that was immediately followed by the reverse action, right? We cut 3 times. The Fed cut 3 times in 2019. So everything the Fed did in 2018 had to be undone in 2019. The reason that's so amazing is that when the Federal Reserve adjusts interest rates, the effect is not instantaneous, right? It takes 9 to 12 months for that effect to bleed into the general economy, right? It takes about 9 to 12 months before Main Street feels the effect of that interest rate change. So just about the time some of those interest rate hikes from 2018 were starting to show up in the economy, we start going the other way. Now, the head scratcher is, of course, the U.S. economy is massive. It does not turn on a dime. You're really hard pressed to figure out why the sudden change in interest rate policy. Right? That's very odd to go from an immediate hiking cycle to an immediate easing cycle. It clearly suggests something was missed, right? Some of the indicators the Fed was looking at in 2018, the indicators were rather misleading, or the Fed was misreading them, or whatever the case was. But by all indications, they did something wrong. All right, so now it's time to establish a letter grade for the report card. Rather than giving the Fed chairman a precise grade, I'm going to invoke an expression that my father favored, right? And that is, given all the evidence that we have so far in the Fed chairman's first tenure, it does appear that the Fed chair, when it comes to bad ideas, it appears the Fed chairman is truly blessed. All right, I'm Don Rich. You have just experienced a rich insight. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk again soon.